Hello everyone, back tuning into today's second video doing GWV Sunday Round-Up for today's second video. So this is your eclectic mix of this and that on your Sunday afternoon. So we can look at things like sea surface temperature anomalies, solar activity, the QBO, the NAO, the SOI, you know, more and more, and the weather for the next week to 10 days as well. Have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks and for February also. It's going to be great, it's going to be mega, so sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I shall talk you through the Sunday Roundup very, very shortly. Now, it's a very, very historic day, potentially, at GWV's today, because we are currently sitting at 9,971 subscribers. So we've got to put on around another 29, 30 to get to 10k subscribers. 10k is a huge milestone on YouTube. I believe you even get an email from YouTube when you hit 10k subscribers, so it's a big milestone today, and so potentially this could be like a party day. We're going to be live streaming at 6 o'clock. If we have hit 10k by 6 o'clock, or we hit 10k during the live stream from 6, then we will give away the Amazon voucher. Here's the Amazon voucher we've been talking about. So that's worth £50. Somebody will be winning that when we hit 10k subscribers, and we'll do a giveaway, a name picker giveaway, and yes, somebody will win that. But we've got to put on around about 30 subscribers. It's doable. I think it's doable. I think we could do this today. So if you aren't yet subscribed to our channel, then please can you give us a sub. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody to subscribe as well, and that'll be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. I've got to give a shout out to a new channel member. We're putting on channel members all the time at the moment. So we're over 65 channel members now. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know, we're at 70 channel members. Absolutely amazing, incredible. So thank you so much to John Majorum. Thank you so much to John Majorum for becoming our latest channel member. We've got more channel members to shout out this week, and a patron as well, a new patron shout out as well. So thank you so much to all channel members. Thank you so much to John Majorum for becoming our latest channel member. Absolutely unbelievable and absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, John, for doing that. Thank you to all channel members, thank you to all patrons, thank you to all donors, thank you to all super chatters, and all subscribers. You know, you're getting us to 10k, so the support doesn't have to be financial. Just watching videos, sharing videos, liking videos, subscribing, telling your friends and family, everybody else to subscribe as well. That's supporting the channel as well. So just a huge thank you to all of you. The community we have built up through GWVs and for GWVs been absolutely incredible, especially over the past year. And here we are on the cusp of 10,000 subscribers. What an unbelievable milestone that is. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting us this far, and let's push the last 30 and see if we can do it today, and see if we can do it today, and give away that £50 Amazon voucher in the live stream from 6 o'clock. The spring update has been released, by the way, so have a look at that. It's going to be a very interesting post on Terry's page this afternoon around 3-ish at GWVs.com talking about lunar assist, so have a read of that later on this afternoon. Right, so that's sort of the announcements. Let's get on with the Sunday Round. Then we're going to start off with solar activity. This is how the solar disk is looking on our side today from solarham.net. We've got one sunspot region just there, but despite that, solar activity is at very low levels and is expected to remain at very low levels for the next 3 days. This is the GWV solar activity tracker sent through by our good friend James Ackrill, updated to today, 17th of January. So solar activity is we have had the odd sunspot over the past few days, so a slight tick up in activity, but really the trends are still down. The orange line is depicting each individual day's worth of sunspot activity. So you know, back early on in the winter, we did have quite a large spike in solar activity. It took us to sort of levels with solar activity that we've not been at before since like late 2017, but it didn't last very long. Very quickly we was back into really weak solar activity sunspot levels, and that's where we are right now, just there at a very low level. So the thick green and thick red lines, they are our trend lines, and they have moved downwards. They did lift up while we had that burst of activity, late in 2020, but the trend lines have trended downwards again. It's a slow old start to solar cycle 25. It looks like this was like a false start, really, and we're back at low levels again. So the solar cycle is struggling to get going, very similar to how solar cycle 24 performed. That was a slow start to solar cycle as well. Solar cycle 25 is performing slowly also. Thank you so much to James for sending that to. This from Richard. Look, it's Gapatin. Do it. Thank you, Rich, for that. Do it. Yes. Right. So this is how things are currently looking with the current spotless days and spotless stretch. For 2021 so far, we've had 12 days without any sunspots. That's actually 71%, a large percentage of the year. But remember, we're only like 16, 17 days into the year. But yeah, it tells us that like search activity has fallen backwards again. For 2020, we had 208 days without sunspots. That was 57% of the year. So this does tell us that solar activity has fallen backwards, actually, as we've gone into the new year. We have reduced sunspot activity. 2019, of course, was our solar minimum year, with 77% of the calendar year of 2019, 281 days without sunspots. This compares to the solar cycle 24, which you can see down here. So the solar minimum of solar cycle 23-24 was in 2008. That year had 73% of the year without sunspots. 2009 was a slow year. The first year of solar cycle 24 had 71% of the year, 260 days without sunspots. Very, very slow. And even in 2010, like the second year of solar cycle 24, we have 14% of the year, which is quite a high percentage for like the second year of the solar cycle. By 2011, solar cycle 24 did get going, in 2012, 2013, for example, moving into solar maximum years. So yeah, I think we're going to see solar activity ticking up through 2021. We will get on with the solar cycle, but it's a slow start, very similar, very much similar to the slow start that we had with solar cycle number 24. Thank you so much to James and to Richard for sending through the data, and of course, thank you so much for Gapatin, Rich. Thank you so much, Gapatin. Do it. Right, let's carry on with sea surface temperature anomalies then. So this is how the oceans were looking when we did last week's GWV Sunday Round-Up. 3 areas of interest. We've got the ENSO region just here. We've got the North Pacific over here. And we've got the North Atlantic over there. That's how the oceans were looking when we did last week's Sunday Roundup. Let's have a look at the very latest. Here it is. So in the ENSO region, first of all, landing continues. This has become a central and western base landing. You see that it's colder through here and less cold through there. Now, when we did the winter updates, we discovered that eastern-based landing years, as long as they're weak, anyway, weak to moderate, tend to favour colder winters. Central and western-based La Ninas, particularly if they start becoming quite strong, but also sometimes when they're weak to moderate, can favour milder winters. Now, this La Nina early on in the winter was actually quite eastern-based, but it has become more central and western-based as we go into the second half of the winter. It's at a relatively weak level, but this might imply that the second half of winter could begin to turn a little bit milder. It might do. It was quite a strong signal for like a central western based La Nina to favour a milder northern European winter compared to an eastern based La Nina. So the fact that this is transitioning more towards central western based might imply that we could be in for something a little bit milder through the second half of the winter. But then again, we've come to the non-Pacific. We see that sea surface temperatures are cooling there. So this is the coolest up the northern Pacific has been probably since 2018 when we had the beast from the east. So it swings the roundabouts. You expect the Pacific to cool down in response to the La Nina. That is happening. And as it's beginning to go cooler in the northern Pacific, that possibly does start to help get something a little bit colder coming on to northern Europe. So swings and roundabouts there. Maybe the central base La Nina will be offset by the cooling in the northeastern Pacific, but definitely cooling down in the northeastern Pacific. And then if we go back to last week and look at the Atlantic, that's how these temperatures looked last week. We did last week, sitting around, this is the latest. In the North Atlantic, very little change. Really, everything looking quite stable. It's quite warm to the south of Greenland. It's pretty warm through the tropical Atlantic. It's cooler through here. We don't have a tripole, but we do have quite a warm North Atlantic, and it remains, you know, quite warm through the tropical Atlantic and also around the south of Greenland. That's the sort of thing that can help to favour northern blocking. If this cold area here was to start expanding in that sort of fashion, then we might start getting a tripole going. We don't have a tripole yet, but that might be something to look out for, probably more towards the spring, actually. But everything quite stable in the Atlantic, and we have continue to see quite a warm North Atlantic. Southern Oscillation Index next from Bureau of Meteorology. So this is how the SOI is currently looking. Remember, this is an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state in the southern Pacific Ocean, not driving anything. So in terms, just tells us what the atmosphere is doing. It's measuring air pressures between Darwin and Tahiti. Now, when the SOI is in its negative phase, the atmospheric setup will be reflective of El Nino. When the SOI is in its positive phase, atmospheric setup will be reflective of La Nina. Now, we have had a La Nina, of course, over the past few months. That continues now. And so the SOI has been in a very positive phase and continues to be so. This is the barometric pressure for Tahiti. This is barometric pressure for Darwin. And then this is the overall SOI numbers just here. And notice just continuously positive numbers now, solidly positive. So 5th of January plus 20, 6th of January plus 26, 7th of January plus 25, 11th of January plus 15, 12th of January plus 17, 13th of January plus 23, 14th of January plus 20. These are all very positive La Nina type numbers. 15th of January plus 22, 16th of January plus 20, and latest number we have, they're ahead of us, of course, in Australia, is the 17th of January plus 20.69. The SOI is in solidly positive territory. That's that is reflective of La Nina. That's very much telling us that we're in a La Nina state. The 30-day SOI average, the red line, that's lifted up into solidly positive territory as well. The yellow dash line, which is the 90-day SOI average, is also in solidly positive territory. It's La Nina. What can you say? This is a proper old La Nina winter for 2020, 2021. Right, we're going on to QBO. Let's get a little bit of page refreshing here. So I think I'll just pause the video, go through the tabs, and then have a look at QBO. I'll be back in a second. Okay, tabs refresh. So we'll just look at the QBO. Next, quasi-biennial oscillation. So the easterly QBO is coming on. It's developing, I think. And I've got a feeling that 2021 is going to be an easterly QBO year. So this is from NASA. So we feature this a lot in videos, but I'll just very quickly explain that, like the sandy brown coloured areas, that's the westerly phase of the quasi-biennial oscillation. The blue-green areas are the easterly phase of the quasi-biennial oscillation. The last QBO phase, proper QBO phase, was from 2017 to 2018, just here. That'll be disappearing off this chart very shortly. The last genuine westerly QBO phase was 2018 to 2019, just here. And then we should have gone into the ECQBO through 2020, but it failed. You see this blue-green area up here. So it's like the top of the atmosphere in the stratosphere. That's 10 HPA. You see that the blue-green phase just here wanted to descend, tried to descend, almost descended, but just didn't quite get into the troposphere. That's the boundary level of the atmosphere. That's 30 to 50 HPA. So we kept the ECQBO stuck in the stratosphere and underneath the troposphere a little bit through there before the westerly QBO sort of came back in the summer and autumn of 2020 through here. But we never completely got rid of the ECQBO. It sort of carried on lurking at the top of the atmosphere in the stratosphere. And then if we zoom in on this, you can see that now the ECQBO is increasingly moving down from the stratosphere into the troposphere. Look at this. You can see that the ECQBO is strengthening in the stratosphere. That's indicated by the deepening blue-green colours, and increasingly moving downwards towards the troposphere. So I think the ECQBO is on its way. I think we're going to see, very similar to where it was this time last year, but unlike this time last year when we had failure of the ECQBO in the spring of last year, I think through this spring we will probably see the ECQBO developing and strengthening. And so I think that this year is going to see a transition from the westerly phase to the easterly phase of the QBO. The ECQBO normally lasts around 14 or 15 months. So next winter, 2021-22, should be a strong, mature, easterly QBO winter. So, of course, you look at the QBO primarily for winter forecasting, because when we're in the easterly QBO, we weaken the zona westerlies, and we tend to favour northern blocking. But when we're in a west, so that's an eastern QBO, we're in a western QBO, we tend to strengthen the zona westerlies and have more of a zonal type winter pattern. So next winter could be favouring blocking via you know, like a strong easterly QBO phase. Not every ECQBO coincides with blocking though in a cold winter, so that's something to bear in mind. But anyway, definitely I think the ECQBO is coming to see that the lines here are moving down from the stratosphere into the troposphere. I think we're on our way to the ECQBO. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Right, Arctic oscillation observed and forecast next. So the black line shows where we've been with the AO, red line shows the M, where the GFS ensembles are forecasting the AO to go. Again, as with all of these indexes, SOI, QBO, etc., the AO is just an index that's reflecting the outside state, doesn't drive anything, so term just tells what the axis is doing. When the AO is positive, we've got low pressure over the Arctic and opal. When the AO is negative, we've got, so when the AO is positive, we've got low pressure over the Arctic and opal. When the AO is negative, we've got high pressure blocking over the Arctic and over North Pole as well. The AO has been negative throughout this winter. We went negative at the beginning of December. We're still negative with the Arctic oscillation now, and the GFS ensembles are forecasting that the AO will stay negative through the rest of January. That gets us to the beginning of February, staying negative with the Arctic oscillation. Blocking will continue, but of course where that blocking sits is critical. So just because you've got blocking, it doesn't necessarily mean that any one place will be cold. We have been quite cold through this winter so far, but I think we're going to go into a rather milder phase through the closing days of January. But yeah, the blocking goes on. As long as the blocking goes on, there is going to be the chance of more cold weather. NAO is also in neutral to negative territory. So again, black line shows where I've been with the NAO, generally neutral to weakly negative with the NAO through this winter. We remain neutral to weakly negative at the moment, and the GFS ensembles are forecasting the NAO will stay neutral and weakly negative to the end of January. Both the indexes are negative, and so therefore you would expect that we're going to have we're going to favour anyway a continuation of at least colder weather at times. The GWV NAO forecast, which you will remember we released, when did we release that? We released that on the 14th of June 2020, and it's currently sitting with 20,000, I should say, 20,000 video views. But we released that on the 14th of June. You remember we did forecast back on the 14th of June that the NAO would be weakly negative. That is exactly how the NAO has played out. So I'm very, very pleased with the NAO forecast this year. Very, very pleased with how that one has come out. Right, let's do some forecasting then. So we're going to look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation on sun. So we're now looking at Northampton today, local to me. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Northampton. We're starting off still pretty chilly at the moment, although temperatures have recovered slightly slightly from the cold temperature had last week. Early next week, it's going to go very mild around Tuesday into Wednesday. It is actually going to turn very mild, but it will also be really, really wet. After that, we're going to see things getting colder through the second half of next week into next weekend. There may be a little bit more snow around as well. Early into the following week, so this gets us around the 27th of January. Just here, we see that things are getting milder there through the closing days of January. And then it's come to the very end of January into February. I think I've got a bit of a cooling trend here, actually, within the GFS ensembles. It's really extended. It's like 2 weeks away, but possibly starting to get colder again as we move into early February. Or trending a bit colder, anyway, into early February with the GFS ensembles. Precipitation-wise, the next day or so, it's going to be relatively dry for Northampton, but look at this deluge we've got coming from Wednesday into from Tuesday to Wednesday. That does look quite alarming. I think there might be flooding concerns for parts of Wales, northwest England, and the West Midlands. After that, it will turn drier into the second half next week, but it will be colder as well. And then regular precipitation spikes going through to the end of January. Looks quite unsettled then. Right, where on the tabs, just there. Right, temperature anomalies from the 17th, 25th of January. Going to be cold average in the north, a little bit mild average down in the south. Precipitation anomalies from the 17th, 25th of January, generally above average through most parts of the country. Going to be a wet week to come. This latest wind flow map from earthnorthschool.net showing westerlies have broken through. Look at all the low pressure we've got in the Atlantic. We've got low pressure just here. We've got another deep low just there. There's a low up towards Iceland as well. That's one that's broke the westerlies through over this weekend, of course, but these two lows just here will be bringing lots of rain in the coming days. This is how the UK Met is looking for Wednesday. Deep area of low pressure across the country, bringing heavy rain on the northern side of that rain. May get a little bit of snow, but I think the concern for Tuesday into Wednesday is going to be more towards flooding, potentially, parts of northwest England, Wales and the West Midlands. Very windy down in the south with a risk of gales running up the channel. Deep low over country on Thursday. As that low pushes eastwards, it starts to pull down colder winds from the north again. So as we go through to Friday, northerly winds are setting in across the country, becoming colder, and there will be snow showers in the north. Staying cold up to 144 hours. That's 23rd of January, next Saturday. So cold winds in from the north, could be further wintry conditions, especially so for northern parts of the country. This is how the GFS midnight run is looking. Again, very unsettled through the middle part of the week. Heavy rain, could be some snow on the northern edge of that, particularly as this low pressure moves into the North Sea and pulls down colder air from the north. Into Friday, we're all in a cold northwesterly to northerly. That continues into Saturday as well. And then as we go through into Sunday and Monday, then low pressure starts to move in off the Atlantic, draws up a milder wind from the southwest. So the last week of January, very unsettled, potentially a little bit stormy, but also milder, particularly so down in the south. Trying to get some higher pressure building to the northeast there on the 28th of January. There's a cold pool sitting over Scandinavia. But nothing really comes of that ridge. The ridge just sort of slips southwards and starts to bring in milder air back in off the Atlantic. Notice it is cold though over Scandinavia with a deep cold pool. So if we could get that ridge going at the end of January, that will pull in a cold easy wind. But actually this GFS run sort of slits that high pressure south and runs the Atlantic back in. We go through to the start of February and we're looking showery and windy with like a strong west-northwesterly flow. Teaser winter, as we said all the way along that this winter would be a teaser, and that's exactly how it has played out. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that GFS run. So primarily, initially, we talked about heavy rain, a lot of heavy rain coming and going, but by midweek, some of that's beginning to turn to snow across northern England and North Wales. But the concern, I think, really for the middle of the week is with rain and the potential for flooding. Eventually, by sort of Wednesday to Thursday, that cold air is digging southwards, turning the rain to snow, particularly through Scotland and northern England, a proper dump of snow across northern England. Some of that coming down into Wales and the Midlands and eastern parts of England as well, but particularly so for the north, looking very snowy there Wednesday into Thursday for the northern half of the country. Proper old snow event going on. That pulls away by the end of Thursday, and then it's going to Friday. We turn drier, but there will be wintry showers in the north, and then wintry showers really going through into the weekend. And then the following week starts to go milder, and we bring heavy rain back in from off the Atlantic into the last days of January. Although the very last days of January actually start to go a little bit colder again, and we start to see a little bit more snow. Here we are on the 31st of January, for example. A little bit more snow begins to turn up then into the very last days of January and potentially the first days of February too. Looks very, very unsettled. But GFS 6Z is updating as we're speaking. Let's just see how the 6Z is looking, shall we? And then we shall move on from GFS data. If you're enjoying this video, please smash the like button, let YouTube know that you have enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. This is the GFS 6Z, been updating as we've been speaking. So again, a lot of heavy rain to come initially, turning to snow there through Wednesday to Thursday. Again, snow suggested through Scotland down into Northern England, possibly into the Midlands, into eastern parts of England as well. So rain and snow around the middle of the week, and then we're going colder, of course, before milder air starts to tuck back in from off the Atlantic potentially. Although there's more suggestion of more snow there actually on Tuesday, 26th January. So I think the GFS 6 is probably taking a little bit longer to reintroduce the milder conditions. This is how the GM is looking. So again, wet and windy on Wednesday. We go through to Thursday and Friday, pull down cold northerly winds. So it will turn colder. Second half next week, that lasts into weekend. Early next week, or early the following week, we begin to move low pressure back in off the Atlantic. And then this is how the ECM is looking as well. So all much of this heavy rain midweek, turning cold into second half next week. Could be significant snow for the north half of the country, particularly late Wednesday into Thursday. Cold into next weekend as well. Staying quite cold with GFS, with the ECM, I should say. Staying quite cold into the following week. This is Monday 25th of January. It's not really until the very end, day 10, that it starts to introduce something a little bit milder from the southwest. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run. So plenty of rain coming and going initially, with risk of snow on the northern edge, especially through the northern half of the country. Significant snow there from Scotland to Northern England down into parts of the northwest Midlands from Wednesday to Thursday. Then we go into those wintry showers with northerly winds. A little bit of snow there running across the south next weekend. A little bit of snow for the south. Otherwise, wintry showers running up towards day 10. We can't show the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today. We'll have a look at those in our live stream tonight. However, we will show the CFS V2. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to 23rd of January. The coming week we have blocking over Greenland. Low pressure is over the country. Jet stream is pushed southwards as well. So looking unsettled and potentially quite cold in the week ahead. Week 2 will take us from 24th to 30th of January. Low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. Heights rising across southern Europe. Just lifts the jet stream north a little bit. So a little bit less cold there, a little bit milder, but very unsettled still with northern blocking. Week 3 is going to be the 31st of January, 6th of February. Looks like low pressure and jet stream coming southwards again. Suggestion of a little bit of higher pressure building towards Iceland, perhaps. So low pressure coming back southwards, so unsettled, but possibly getting a little bit colder, if anything, through the first week of February. And then we go through to week 4. This looks very different. This is the 7th to the 13th of February, with high pressure to our west and northwest, probably pulling in an east or northeasterly wind. So that could turn a lot colder with winds digging in from the northeast. So those of you in the south that have had a lack of snow recently are waiting for easterly winds. That might suggest easterlies in the second week of February, or certainly northeasterlies anyway. February itself is looking like this with the CFS V2. So this is 700 millibar height anomaly. These update daily, but look at this. Blocking is now being forecast, northern blocking being forecast for February with low pressure over into the south of the country. This would imply easterly winds. It would imply easterly winds setting in for February. And yeah, so you certainly won't be running out of cold and wintry February based on that 700 millibar height anomaly. The temperature anomaly is only average or has no signal, but notice a cold February has been forecast for Scandinavia and for Northern Europe, quite significantly so. And the precipitation anomaly looks like that overall rather on the, hinting at being rather on the dry side, particularly so to more northern parts of the country. I'll just go back and let's have a look at the GFS 6 there, because it looked like it was delaying the onset of milder weather early next week. So let's just have a very quick look at what GFS 6 has done. It hasn't fully updated yet. This is Thursday, and low pressure is just in the North Sea, bringing down a cold northerly wind. So we know it's going to get colder again into the second half of this week. That's Friday, again, northerly winds. It looks like going to be cold and potentially quite wintry, particularly so for northern parts of the country. That's Saturday, reversing the wind back more towards the west, but still quite cold. Even then, whoops, that went wrong. This is Sunday. So again, look, still quite cold on Sunday actually. Sunday tracking low, could bring a little bit of snow to the south. Winds generally still coming in from a north to northwesterly direction. That's Monday, 25th January. Still quite cold there. We're delaying most southwesterlies pushing in with the GFS 6 there. So still quite cold actually on this GFS run to Monday, 25th of January. Southwesterlies struggling to get in on Tuesday, the 26th of January. I think by day 10 we probably will have southwesterlies breaking through. Here they come. Southwesterlies do break through eventually by Wednesday, 27th of January. That's 10 days away. It's a long way out. And even then, we have got plenty of cold air sitting just to our north and east, although milder air is coming in off the Atlantic. So it does eventually get there. The GFS 6 does eventually get there, but it's a struggle. And right at the very end of January, it looks like it could be hinting at going colder again. Actually, cold air begins to dig back into the north right at the very end of January with the GFS 6 Right, that's brought you up to date with everything. If you enjoyed this study roundup, please can you click like. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you do that, you'll be able to see future weather content. Tell your friends, family, and everybody else about Gaz Weatherbiz. We're almost at 10k subscribers. Just need to put on another 30 or so, and then we'll hit 10k. So tell your friends to subscribe as well. And thanks so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you think about this video and all of our videos on the channel. That's it then. That's your Sunday Roundup. So I hope you enjoyed it, found it interesting and informative. Check out Terry's page this afternoon. There'll be a very, very interesting post about lunar assist. That will be at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then we're live streaming from 6. Will we have hit 10k by then? Will we hit 10k in the live stream? Will we give away the Amazon voucher? Will the live stream turn into a 10k celebration / party / get together? We'll find out. So I'll see you live at 6. But for the Sunday Roundup, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.